Welcome to a half-hour Hebrew class, and today we are doing Yahudah, which is John 13, verses 26 to 30. So let us begin. And of course, we like to always show you the Nakud vowel markings with the useful resources, which are invariably important for us in our practice, and of course, how to use the vowels. So let us begin. And of course, we begin with verse 26, which is represented by a kaf value of 20 and a vav value of 6, being the sixth letter of the alphabet. Now let's go through the letters. Vav, Yod, Ayin, Nun, Sofit, Yod, Hey, Vav, Shin, Ayin, Hey, Nun, Hey, Zayin, Hey, Hey, Vav, Aleph, Aleph, Shin, Resh, Aleph, Tet, Bayet, Lamed, Pei, Resh, Vav, Samek, Tav, Yod, Lamed, Tav, Tav, and Hey. Right, now let us read that. And it is Vaya'an, meaning, and he answered, Yahushua. Hine, behold, Zay, this, who is he, we could say, right? Because who means he, this he. But for a better sort of way of flowing, this is he. Asher, that, et bol, I am dipping. Now we see that the aleph is a pronoun this time, and it means I, and we know to bowl. Now down here I've got hutbal, right? Hutbal is the verb to be dipped, to be immersed. But to bowl basically means to dip, right? So we used as like Yehuchanan ha-mitbal, so he's the immerser, right? So therefore that I am dipping. And then we've got perusati, my peace. Again, the pronoun is at the end, T. And if we look down here, perusa is a feminine noun for slice or piece. And then we've got le ta, le ta, le tita. And of course, its root in there is Natan, where the nun's dropped off, and so is actually the other nun. So it looks strange that it's almost, it's just got one tav there. But it tells us to give it, because the hey at the end with the gesh in it, meaning it. It's like a pronoun at the end. But in this case, because it's bread, it's an it. To give it, right? So then we read in English, Yeshua answered, behold, it is the one for whom I shall dip my peace and give it. Right, now we're going to read that without any aid. And it is, Vaya'an, Yahushua, Hine, Ze, Hu, Asher, Et, Bol, Peru, Sati, le tita. And part B, now we have a lamed, a vav, a yod, a tet, a bet, lamed, a left tav, pei, resh, vav, samek, tav, vav, yod, tav, nun, sofit, a left lamed, yod, hey, vav, dalet, hey, vayet, Nun Sofit, Shin, Mem, Ayin, Vav, and Nun Sofit. And now let's read it. Lo. Now lo is it can be misunderstood as not, but in this case it's a pronoun at the end, so it's to him. Va, yit, bowl, and dipped. And again, because of the prefixes, we know it's a verb, but also it's a completed action, and dipped. Et, grammar marker, peru sato, meaning his, that's the pronoun at the end, peace. Vayiten, again a verb, and gave it, I put there as just to make it sound better, El to Yahudah, to Yahudah, which of course in modern scriptures is known as Judas. Ven, meaning son, Shimon, of Shimon or Simon. All right, now we will read that, but let's just read the translation first. So from the previous verse, or part of the verse, I shall dip my piece and give it to him. He dipped his piece and gave it to Judas, the son of Simon. Right, now let us read that. Lo vayitbal et peru sato vayiten el Yahudah ben Shimon. Right, part C now, which is an aleph, a yod, a shin, a kaf, a resh, a yod, a vav, and a tav. So it is ish, meaning a man, and we could say a man of, just to make it easier. Keriot. Now we know that in the English it normally says son of Simon Ishcariot, but I want us to clarify that it's not his name. It means a man of the districts, because the word Kiryah is a feminine noun that means district or suburb. So therefore he's a man of Keriot, man of the districts. Right. And then we have Ish Keriot. Right. Then we turn to 27, represented by a kaf 20 and a zayin 7, the seventh letter of the alphabet. And we have a vav, aleph, chet, resh, yod, veit, because there's no dot in it, lamed, ayin, vav, beit, aleph, hey, sin, because the dot's on the left side, tet, nun safit, aleph, lamed, kuf, resh, beit, vav, vav, yod, aleph, mem, resh, aleph, lamed, yod, vav, yod, hey, vav, shin, ayin. So now let's read it. The achare, and after. Achare is after. Below, or vilo, sorry, because there's no dot in that, so even I can make a mistake. Vilo, here's a swallowing. Let's have a look. It comes from the word bala, which is a kol verb, to swallow, to be taken in, to engulf. Ba, came, ha-satan, the accuser, right? Satan. El to kirbo, to his insides. So let's have a look down here. Karev is a masculine noun meaning interior, inside, innards. Normally translated to within him. But I'm giving you direct translation, which is to his insides. Vayomer, and he said, Elev, unto him or to him, and again the vav is him, Yahushua, or Yahusha, right? Now the total English translation, after he swallowed it, Satan entered him. Yeshua then said to him. And we see down here, karav is a kol verb, to approach, to draw near. So as a verb it means to draw near, and in the with different vowel markings, but the same root letters. As a masculine noun, it means within, inside. And I also made a note here where it says pronouns are almost always at the end of the word. almost. But sometimes we see like an aleph at the beginning and it means I. But generally they're at the end. So now let us read that. And it is V'acharei vilo ba ha satan el kirbo vayomer elev Yahushua. Right now we're moving to part B. And we have an aleph, a tav. An aleph, a shin, a resh, a tav, an ayin, a sin, a hey, ayin, sin, hey, mem, hey, resh, and hey. Now let's put it together. Et, which normally is a grammar marker, so it's questionable meaning. Or it just means a grammar marker, telling us what follows is central. Ashir, what, ta'a, say. Now we know a say means to do, right? So, and then the tav is like will, but it's also second person. So you will do. And that's how we come up with that. What you will do. And then a say, which means do. Mehera, mehera, speedily. Let's have a look. Mehera is an adjective which means speedily, without delay. And then we've also got miher, which is a PL verb, to hurry, to hasten. The PL form intensifies the verb. So I've just given you a little bit extra information there. Now let's read that. And it is et, asher, ta'a, say, mehera. Mehera. Right, now 28. And we have a kaf and a chet. Now we know that kaf is 20. A chet is the 8th letter of the alphabet, so it's a value of 8. So we're in verse 28. And then we have vav, men, mem, nun safit, hey, mem, samek, bet, yod, mem safit, lamed, aleph, yod, dalet, ayin, aleph, yod, shin, ayin, lamed, mem, hey, dalet, bet, resh, aleph, lamed, yod, vav, kaf, zayin, aleph, and tav. Now let's read it. U, min, meaning and from. Ham, su, vim, hamsuvim, the ones dining or the diners. Let's have a look. It says down here, hetsev is the verb. And it means to lean to one side, to recline, to sit around a table for a meal, just like we do at Pesach, right? And I've put it also as suvim because it's a noun form, and it means diners, participants of a meal. Right, so we know. And from the ones dining, lo not yada did know. Because we know yada means to know, not to know, or not did know. Ish, meaning a man, al may, al about, and may can be what, about what. Diber, he spoke, no pronoun, so it's he spoke. Elev, to him. Kazot, like this. The kaf is normally like. Among those who were reclining, not one knew for what purpose he was speaking to him like this. Right, now let's read that. And it is u min, ham su vim, lo yada ish al may diber elev kazot. And now we come to 29, and we see it's represented with a kaf 20 and a tet, the 9th letter of the alphabet, so therefore the value of 9. So we're in 29. And then we have kaf, yod, shin, aleph, shin, resh, chet, shin, vet, Vav, Kaf, Yod, Aleph, Mem, Resh, Aleph, Lamed, Yod, Vav, Yod, He, Vav, Shin, Ayin, Kuf, Nun, He, Lamed, Nun, Vav. And we have to learn to be able to do it that quick, so we're not thinking too much about the letters, and therefore it'll be a lot easier to read, right? So then we have Ki, which can mean for or because, right? For Yesh, some. So how do we get some out of Yesh? If we look down here, Yesh as an adjective can mean there is, it is necessary, or it can be some. Right? So it could be there is whom, but I've just put some, who, a share. Now this is an interesting one. It's chosh vu. Now why chosh? Why not chash vu? Well, it's probably a traditional way of saying it. And the grammar rule is it's said as a short O only in a closed and unaccented syllable, which is usually the first, because the first syllable is normally unaccented. It's always, the accent's always on the last syllable, right? So it's choshvu. Choshvu. It means they thought. If we look down here, chashav is a kal verb to think, or to presume, or to assume. So they thought or assumed, ki, that, amar, he said, elev, to him, and now we talk about who said it, Yahushua, kene lanu, kene meaning to buy, right? So buy, and lanu is for us, for us. For there were some who thought that Yeshua said to him, buy us. Right, now we will read that. And it is, ki, yesh, asher, choshvu, ki, amar, eleiv, Yahushua, kene, lanu. And now we have Pa B. And now we start with a Zadeh, a Resh, a Kaf, a Yod, a He, Chet, Gimel, Aleph, Vav, Lamed, Tav, Tav, Lamed, Aleph, Vayet, Yod, Vav, Nun, Yod, Mem Safit, Yod, Ayin, Nun Safit, Aleph, Shin, Resh, Kaf, Yod, Samek, He, Kaf, Samek, and Fesofit. And we have Zar K. Now, what's Zar K mean? The necessities of. So how do we get that? And again, with that ending, it can be like of, right? So let's have a look here. And Zarek is a masculine noun which means need, necessity, or requirement. The necessities of, and then we have Chag, the feast, and then O, which means or, la tet, to give. Again, we're missing the nun and the nun again. So it might sound funny, but it's only got one root letter almost. To give. So it's still related to that. La ev yonim. La ev yonim. To the poor. And if we look down here, ev yon is a masculine noun for poor, pauper, or beggar. Right? So to the poor, and of course there's plural there. To the poor meaning plural, the plurality of it. And then we have ya'an, on account. So ya'an down here, I've got it as a conjunction. It can mean because of, since, for the reason. It can mean so that, So on account is a good way of translating it in this context. Ashir that, kiss, meaning the pouch. So kiss means pouch. Ha kesef. And kesef, of course, means silver. The silver. The pouch of the silver. So from the previous verse, buy us what we need for the feast, or that to give to the poor, since the money purse. Now we know that it must be the 13th of Nisan, the night before the Pesach, so that they could still go out and buy. If it was the 14th, they wouldn't have been able to buy because it would have been all closed. So that's just some little minor point. Now let's read that. And it is Zarkei Hechag or Latet La Evyonim Ya'an Ashir Kis Ha-Kesef. And now we come to part C, which has a Bet Yod Dalet. Yod He Vav Dalet He. And it is Beyad, in the hand. Because we know Yad means hand, right? So in the hand, Yahudah, of Yahudah, we could say, right? The money purse was in Judah's hand. Right, now let's quickly read that. Beyad Yahudah. Right, now we come to 30, which is represented with a lamed, the value of 30. And then we have Vav, He, Vav, Aleph, Bet, Kuf, Chet, Tav, Vav, Aleph, Tav, Pei, Resh, Vav, Samek, Tav, He, Lamed, Chet, Mem, Sefid, Mem, He, Resh, Lamed, Zade, Aleph, Tav, He, Chet, Vav, Zade, and He. Let's have a look now. The who and he, because who is he? Be kach, to, in, and of course the pronouns at the end, in his, and kach is to take, right? In his taking. Et, grammar marker, perusat, meaning a piece, because singular there. Ha lechem, meaning of the bread. Miher, hasten, because we remember from before that miher is a verb to quickly, to hasten, right? Hastened, la set, to depart. Now we know that the root word is yatsa, which is a kal verb to go outside, to exit or to leave. So it means to depart. Ha chutza, and that means the outside. To depart, to, you could say to the outside, I guess, even though there's no to there. To depart outside is probably the best translation. He, after taking the piece of bread, hurried to go outside. Right, now we're going to read that, and it is Vahu bekach to et peru sat ha lechem miher la set ha chutza. Right. And part B, we have a Vav, Lamed, Yod, Lamed, Hey, Hey, Yod, Hey. And it is the Laila. The Layla. The Layla. Often you'll hear it sound like the Lila, but it's spelled sort of with a Yod, depending. The Yod is often taken as an I sound. But you can say the Layla. It sort of sounds very similar. Haya was, and night was. Therefore, it's translated, hurried to go outside, and it was night in the English. Right, now we just read it quickly. V'layla Haya. Haya. Right, was. Now we can come to our revision, and hopefully we remember some of this, or if we're more expert, we could just go straight to a revision. But if you want to look at each of the words, then we go to the other part. So let's just read it now. And we see that it's a kaf value of 20, a vav value of 6. We're in verse 26. Vaya'an, and he answered, because ana means to answer, right? And he answered, Yahushua, hine, behold, ze this, who is he, asher that, et bol, I dip, peru sati, my peace, le tita, to give it. All right, let's have a look at the translation. And he answered, Yahushua, behold, this is he that I am dipping my peace to give it. And lo to him, va yit bol, and he dipped, et peru sato, his peace, vayiten, and gave, el to Yahudah, ven son Shimon, of Simon, to him, and dipped, grammar marker, his piece, and gave it to Yahudah, son of Shimon. Ish, a man, Keriot, of the districts. A man of Keriot, the districts. And then we have a kaf value of 20 and a zion value of 7, and it is va'achare, and after, vilo, his swallowing, ba came, ha satan, Satan, L2 kir bo, his insides, in other words, within him, vayomer, and he said, el lev, to him, Yahushua, and after his swallowing came the Satan to his insides. And he said to him, Yahushua, et Ramamaka, share what ta'a say you will do, a say do, mehera, meaning quickly. Et, what you will do speedily. And then we have kaf, value of 20, chet, value of 8. And then we read it. U min, and from hum su bim, meaning the ones reclining for the meal. Lo not, yada, did know, ish, a man, al may, about what, diber, he spoke, elev, to him, kazot, like this. Right, and from the ones dining, not did know a man about what he spoke to him, like this. And then we have a kaf, value of 20, a tet, value of 9. So we know we're in 29. And it is key for yesh, some, asher, who, choshvu, which is they thought, or they assumed, ki, that amar, he said, elev, to him, Yahushua, kenei, by lanu, for us. For some whom they thought that he said to him, Yahushua, buy for us. And it is zar ke, meaning the necessities of chag, the feast, or latet, to give la evyonim to the poor, plural, ya'an on account, so that ashir, that kiss, which means the pouch. Yeah, kiss is pouch. Ha kesef, which is basically the pouch of the silver. The necessities of the feast, or to give to the poor on account that the pouch of the silver, biyad, in the hand of Yahudah, of Judas, in the hand of Yahudah, which in modern English is Judas. And then we finally have lamed, which has a value of 30, and it is vahu, and he, but kach to, in his taking, et, grammar marker, peru sat, the piece, ha lechem, of the bread, mi hair, quickly, latset, so he quickly, latset, to depart, ha chutza, outside. So, and he, in his taking, grammar marker, a piece of the bread, hastened to depart outside. V'leila, and night, haya, was. So we know it was nighttime. And night was, or it was night, in other words, in English. And again, let us refresh ourselves with the different names of the vowel markings. And we start again with the one where the dot's above the letter, like the vav there, and it's a cholam, and where we have two dots above each other, which is generally breaking up the word in syllables. It is a shva. And the three dots like that is a segol, so it's a short E sound. Where we have two dots horizontal, it's called a zere. So it's a longer E sound, often transliterated as an EI sound. I prefer it as an EY sound. Zere. And then we have patak, which is a short A sound, and kamatz, which is a longer A sound. So that's all we'll deal with, the top line. And now we'll turn again to the values of the letters, remembering that what were we up to? We were doing kaf, and we ended up with lamed, and we can see a kaf has a value of 20 and a lamed a value of 30. And of course we were dealing with, I think, we started with the vav, which has a value of 6, zayin, value of 7, chet, value of 8, tet, value of 9, and then we have, so we combine them to give us 26, 27, 28, 29, and finally 30. And again, I've repeated the useful resources, which are extremely useful in your practicing. And I would encourage you to use them. And it's a real blessing to be able to use them. It helps so much in us learning. And we just want to thank you for joining us. And we pray that these lessons do really bless you. In the name of Yeshua, our Messiah, we give you all the thanks for joining us. And we pray that your understanding of Hebrew will also help in digging deeper, especially into the Tanakh, which you can easily find sort of in Hebrew. But there is versions of the New Testament in Hebrew, which I am using. So I just want to thank you for joining us, and I want to wish you a Shavua Tov, a good week. Amen.